We have a new Covrprice top 10 list this week. And what is re-entering the list? Is it Ultimate? Is it Absolute? Is it Monsters? Let's take a look at the books that made the top 10 list and why up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video to links to my Instagram, whatnot, eBay store, and email. Every week we do a rundown of the Covrprice top 10 list, Covrprice being an independent comic book pricing service that aggregates data from different internet sales, eBay, Heritage, for both graded as well as raw comic books. And they also put out lists. And this is one of them, the hot books, the books that are moving most on the aftermarket. So we break it down. We get some new books. We get some old books. Let's take a look at the list. And coming in at number 10 on the list is Spawn, number 5, specifically the newsstand edition. This is from 1992. It's the first appearance of Billy Kincaid. And this is a book that is getting into the $10 to $20 range and about $150 for a 9.8. If we look here at Go Collect, there are 156 copies on the census. 55% of those are 9.8s. There are also an additional 21 signature series. With the McFarlane books, you're going to find plenty of signature series. And we look here. This is a book that jumped up all the way to 359 in late 2021 during the height of the boom. And the fact that it is a newsstand really enhances its value because newsstands for early Spawn are a lot more difficult to come by, and specifically in high enough grade to be a 9.8, and it kind of settled down the 150 range. Most recent sale for 170, not a big leap over where it's been selling recently, because people who like these early Spawns in newsstand in 9.8, there are enough collectors that that's going to be something that people are jumping on. But what made this book specifically hot this week? It's been over 30 years since the release of this issue, where Shirley Johnson, a young girl, is the last victim of serial killer Billy Kincaid. Both Shirley and Billy Kincaid debuted in this issue. Fast forward to today, solicits for the new Spawn series are trending. The series No Home Here will explore Shirley Johnson's fate. The event will look into her story after her death, trapped in a nightmare before being guided through the presence of the stranger. There isn't much more info to go off, but just the revisit to this 30-year-old character is enough to send fans to the aftermarket for her first appearance. I imagine to a lesser extent, if we're talking about $20 for a graded copy, we're probably talking about still for a newsstand copy for the direct sales, $5 to $10, and that makes sense. Let's go to number 9 on the list, and it's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, number 1. This is the prequel to the Disney Plus series that just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago, which has been pretty popular with fans. I think specifically younger fans. It's about a $15 to $20 book, high grade, still under $100. And if we look here, there's really not enough on the census to be detected yet. And it's selling like about $80. This show had an almost silent debut. There was a bit of hype around it, but not much news after the show aired on Disney Plus. Social media has had an influx of shared clips from the show lately, praising it for its storytelling and thematic elements. This new word of mouth has caused many fans to revisit the series. This prequel comic has followed in popularity, causing collectors to pick up raw and newly graded copies of this book. Unlike the X-Men 97 animated show, which really dominated the top 10 lists for the duration of the run of that first season, this was, much quieter on Disney Plus. I enjoyed it. It took me a few episodes to get into it. My kids really enjoyed it. So I think it's worth a watch. And this book is worth checking out if you enjoy the series. Let's go to number 8 on the list. And it is Pop Kill, number 1, the Amanda Conner 1 in 10 from last week from Mad Cave Studios, that's selling for about $25. There was a ton of big competition for top-selling comics this week that shows how much this book had to get through to land a top spot, and well-deserved. Amanda Conner illustrated an alluring and psychedelic cover. For the launch of this new series, the cover is really unique and also had a retailer incentive. The 1 in 10 ratio cover is usually an easier chase than a 1 in 20 or a 1 in 50. However, this book is such a hot variant that you might have a harder time tracking down this for less than the current FMV of $25. I don't really know this particular series, so I will reserve judgment. I don't even know if I picked up the cover A. So this is from Mad Cave. Did I buy it? I don't know. I don't think so. I definitely did not get the Amanda Connor cover. At any rate, let's go to number 7 on the list, and it is Geiger, number 10. This is the Gary Frank's second print. It reprints the first appearance of Ash Arden, and it's going for about $10. There is a 9.8 for 60, but this book came out less than a month ago, so not really going to be 9.8s being rushed to the census. Geiger has been a surprise hit since its debut, more so the first cameo appearance of the Glowing Woman. The first print of this issue had several amazing covers, but none of which feature the character front and center. Fans love a good key issue, but add on a great cover. Now we have a book that everyone's chasing. This second print has become a hot item on the aftermarket thanks to the featured cover of the new character, Glowing Woman. So, yeah, I as I've said before, Geiger, I think the fact that it has Jeff Johns writing it, and this is one of the things of independent versus Marvel and DC, Jeff Johns has the ability to own these characters and to control them and, basically get a much bigger share of the pie if any studio decides to adapt it. So anyway, that's number 7, or any other thing like toys, etc. So let's go to number 6 on the list, and it is the Whatnot Marvel Comic Trading Pack. The Red Hulk variant individual sealed pack with 3 comics selling for about $121. Now, this is interesting. I missed the email. The email came out like about 11:30 in the morning Eastern time saying there was going to, or whenever it came out, there was going to be a Whatnot show to hop on, and you could get like 2 boxes per seller on Whatnot. And by the time I read the email, they had all been sold. I was watching on Friday and Saturday, and these were, pretty hot. This is the third go around that Whatnot has done in collaboration with Marvel for these kind of blind bag comic pack breaks. And I guess going to keep doing it because people want it. It's been a while since a Walmart blind pack has made it to the top list. Marvel and Whatnot announced these sealed trading packs the week before they debuted. These packs were only sold through Whatnot. So if fans did not have the app, they have to now chase them down on the aftermarket. The books included are Hulk 1, Hulk 22, Captain America 25, Captain America Sam Wilson number 6, and Captain America Sam Wilson number 3, each with 5 variants that vary in rarity. The growing trend of comic blind bags seems to have a ton of traction as prices for these have been soaring on the aftermarket. Now, the other thing, too, is to get the entire pack sealed. I believe the sellers on Whatnot had to agree to sell all of them on Whatnot and not on another service. So theoretically, it would have to be folks that bought it from Whatnot and then sold it intact. Most of the streams that I was showing, and certainly the sellers were trying to promote that, was to have the pack opened up on screen during the stream so that not only the buyer, but everyone else could see what was included. And there were a couple, I think for each of the 5 books, there was a 1-in-1 Bagley sketch that was really the chase. But I didn't buy any. So yeah, that's it for the, number 6 on the list. And of course, these will never be graded because you'd have to take it out of the pack for it to get graded. Let's go to number 5 on the list. And we are with a return to Monsters. Mark Spears Monsters, number 1, the Comic Mint, Comic Corner, KRS Comics, Sad Lemon, 4th print, Virgin, limited to 450 of issue number 1. This is in pre-release, and the pre-release is selling for about $86 with an FMV of a 9.8 of 168. Again, those have to be pre-releases. Now, with the graded books, these store exclusives, they can take any chunk they want of those and just send them off in a batch to get graded by CGC, there's a good likelihood or better likelihood that they will get 9.9s, maybe even a 10. So yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing. They know they're going to get some 9.8s. The store. It's just a matter of how many do they sell raw versus graded. So Mark Spears continues to be hot. Mark Spears is a well-known name in the comic book world lately. His flagship series has generated tons of hype, and his first issue is getting a limited edition 4th print virgin variant. This is a cross-store exclusive that is going to be limited to 450 copies. The artwork in Spears' signature style is garnering so much attention that it is already trending. The book doesn't release until the end of the month, but the aftermarket is already booming with pre-sales. We tracked 14 copies sold, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to number 4. And this is an interesting one. This is X-Force 116, the first appearance of the Ecstatic team. A whole bunch of first appearances, including by Mike Allred. Near mint copies for $20. I have a few of these in the grading hopper. About $125 for a 9.8. If we look at the history of this, there are 461 copies on the census, just about half of them in 9.8. And if we look at the 9.8 sales history, we could see a boomed post later part of the boom at $373, and it's kind of returned to about $100-ish book. Is this a Marvel Rivals thing? I'm not sure why this particular book is jumping. In case you haven't heard, a ton of Avengers Doomsday artwork was leaked online this past week. A lot of the concept art confirms rumors and also brings up new questions. One of those questions relates directly to this book. In one of the concept art images, we see the Young Avengers sitting around a table being joined by Star-Lord and Wong. It's not clear where they are, but the group includes Kate Bishop, Cassandra Lang, Wiccan and Speed, and Ms. Marvel. The surprising character included is floating in the background, Dupe. Why is Dupe there? Is this a tease for the introduction of the X-Men? What is going on? Given it is still very early production, this concept art might be just that, concept. Still, if Dupe is to feature in the film, picking up a copy of his first appearance isn't a bad idea. Okay. It's still a good solid, I think, $100 9.8, a good solid key. X-Force, it wouldn't say low print, but it was in lower print by the time I got to issue 116 than it was in the early issues. Certainly. So there are plenty of them out there. The one thing about this book, and it doesn't affect the grading. There tends to be like a vertical line about, I don't know, a quarter inch from the spine on the front cover, just the way it was printed. So be aware of that. If you find a copy that you want to submit, that should not affect the grading. Let's go to number 3 on the list. And it is Invincible, number 59. I haven't watched Invincible yet this season. The first appearance of Powerplex from 2009. And this book, we can see it was, a solid $100 book, but not many sales. There are only 27 copies on the census. 2/3 of them are 9.8s. And then it was, about $100 book. And all of a sudden we get a $250 sale. I'm going to say this has something to do with the show, but I am going to avoid spoilers, and I'm going to let you avoid spoilers as well. We're just going to go past that to number 2 on the list, and it's Mark Spears again. Space Ghost Jonny Quest, Space Quest, issue number 1, Ash Can edition. That I got to get that. This came out, 2 weeks ago? It's in pre-release. I got to see about that. When is this coming out? That's interesting. I should have ordered at least a cover A. I've been collecting both titles, and I've been reading Jonny Quest. Does it look like he's doing covers to numbers 2 and 3 as well? Yeah. Jonny Quest, Haji, and Bandit as like Space Ghost sidekick uniforms. When is this coming out? Anyway, I'm a Jonny Quest and Space Ghost fan from when I was a kid. The shows came out like before I was born or before I was like conscious of what was on TV, but I did see reruns of both series and have always kind of followed them. So let's see. What do we got? Mark Spears has quickly become a top cover artist pick for collectors. His artwork began to gain notoriety when he launched the comic book Mark Spears Monsters. That series has been a huge draw for fans of the horror genre and collectors of nostalgic cover art. His art style brought about a unique distinction that fans love. These retailer ash cans gained tons of traction this past week as fans prepare for the first issue release of the same cover later this month. Okay, so the ash can already came out. Let's see. Space Ghost Jonny Quest. Before I publish this video. Now let's see the ash can. I mean, I'd be happy with the cover A, I guess. Yeah, there's the ash can edition, $50, $45.50. Starting bid of $30. It's up to $33. Up to $36. Yeah. Let me just keep those. $35 of free delivery. Huh. What do we think? I'll inquire about this at my store tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll have to get one. So we'll just put that on my watch list. Anyway. So let's go to the top book on the list. And it is Red Hulk #1, the variant by Joshua Cassara. The PX previews limited to 3,000. This came out a week ago, and it's already selling for $71. Up to, pre-orders of a 9,873. I did get the Frank Miller one, but not the 1 in 100. I just got the regular Frank Miller for goofs. Boy, you combine some FOMO with Doom and Red Hulk. So let's go to, let's see. Red Hulk and Dr. Doom have been top trending characters these past couple of months. The MCU has really ramped up the hype for both characters. Even after the debut of Captain America Brave New World, Red Hulk is still trending as fans want to see more of him in the MCU. The announcement of Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom hyped up the character for his future appearance in Avengers Doomsday. So what happens when you combine both these characters and feature them on an exclusive cover limited to 3,000 copies? It has become the top trending book of the week. Everyone wants to get their hands on this badass artwork. Note, the Red Hulk in this issue is not Thaddeus Ross. It's the second Red Hulk, Robert Maverick. So yeah, just, a lot of, kind of FOMO on that one. That's going to do it for the top 10. Let's take a quick look at the runners up, numbers 11 through 20. Invincible 61, first appearance of Conquest. This was on the list last week. Hulk #1, first cover appearance of Red Hulk. That's been on the list. Daredevil 227, the beginning of the Born Again storyline, which starts tonight. Mark Spears, Gunslinger Spawn 18. That's been on the list recently. Monsters #3, the KRS Eastside Comic Mint Jaws Virgin variant. That's limited to 450. It's a cool cover, but the limit, is kind of bringing it down. Absolute Batman holding on at #1. Moon Knight #1. Kind of speculation. We'll see that. Venom, Lethal Protector #1. Spawn #1. Why not? And then Radiant Black #31, the 1 in 25. So that's going to do it for the Cover Price Top 10 comic books for this week. I'd like to thank you for stopping by and watching my video. I appreciate it. Like, comments, share, all that good stuff. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.